What if you could live forever as a digital ghost in the machine? It's one of the biggest questions of our time. Can AI actually give us digital immortality? Today, we're going to dive into this sci-fi dream, the current reality, and all the thorny questions that come with it. You know, for generations, this whole idea of cheating death, of preserving our minds after our bodies are gone, it's been pure science fiction, the kind of thing you'd read in a book or debate with your friends late at night.
But here's the thing, it's not just sci-fi anymore. All these breakthroughs in artificial intelligence, neuroscience, and just sheer data crunching power are dragging this concept out of fantasy and into actual research labs. We are right on the edge of a brand new frontier.
And this is where it gets really tricky, because the closer we get, the more we have to face some absolutely staggering ethical questions. The conversation is shifting from, can we pull this off, to, wait a minute, should we? All right, so first, let's talk about the grand vision. What are we really talking about when we say digital immortality? At its heart, it's the idea of uploading you. And I don't just mean your photos and emails. I mean the real you, your consciousness, your memories, your personality, into a digital space where, theoretically, you could exist forever. And this dream is being powered by some incredible tech. You've got AI to mimic how we think, brain-computer interfaces to actually read our thoughts, neuroscience to map out the brain's wiring, and of course, the insane processing power needed to handle all that data. So that's the dream. But how does that stack up with what's actually possible today? How are people trying to build these digital ghosts right now? Turns out there are two main ways they're trying to do it. On one hand, you've got a method called RAG. Think of it like giving an AI your personal library, every email, every text, and telling it to use that to answer questions like you would. Then there's fine-tuning, which is way more intense. That's about actually retraining a huge AI model on your data, trying to bake your personality right into its core. But no matter which way you go, it all starts with data. And I mean a mind-boggling amount of it. To make a convincing digital twin, you need everything. What you did for a living, your hobbies, your weird sense of humor, how you talk to your friends versus your boss, even what you hope to achieve in life. You're basically creating a digital blueprint of a person's soul. But here's where we hit a huge roadblock. Even if you could collect all that data, AIs today have a massive problem with memory. It's something called a context window. Let's look at this number, 200,000. That's the token limit for a really powerful AI like Claude 3. A token is basically a piece of word. Sounds like a lot, right? Well, here's some perspective. 200,000 tokens gets you about the first 2 Harry Potter books. But a human life isn't just a couple of books, it's an entire library. The AI's working memory fills up way too fast. It just can't hold your entire life story in its head at the same time. And that memory problem leads to an inconsistency problem. A recent study called Behavior Chain tested how well AIs could pretend to be a specific person over time. The results? Well, they weren't great. Even the most powerful models really struggled to stay in character. And you can see the gap for yourself right here. The goal is 100% accuracy, a perfect digital copy of you. But the best AIs out there, like GPT-4o, are barely breaking 60%. They can do a pretty good impression for a little while, but they can't consistently be that person. There's a huge disconnect. But hey, let's just imagine for a second that we solve all those tech issues. Perfect memory, 100% accuracy, the works. We'd still slam face first into a much deeper problem, the copy conundrum. This is the million-dollar question. If you make a perfect digital clone of yourself, one that has all your memories and truly believes it's you, is it? Does your consciousness, the thing inside your head listening to me right now, actually transfer over? Or did you just create a brand new person that thinks it's you, while the original you is still here and will eventually die? And this quote just nails it. Consciousness isn't a file. It's not something you can just copy and paste. It's an action that your physical brain is performing right this second. It's a process, not a piece of data. So this really boils down to 2 possibilities. Is it a copy, where a new being is created that just thinks it's you, but the you that's watching this is gone? Or is it a continuation, where your actual awareness wakes up inside the machine? Honestly, no one has the answer. It's one of the deepest philosophical questions we can even ask. So whether it's a copy or a continuation, this technology is already starting to create new forms of digital life, and it's forcing us into some very strange new territory. One of the first real-world examples is something called a Griefbot. These are AIs trained on the digital footprint of people who have passed away, so their loved ones can keep talking to them. This isn't theoretical, this is happening now, and it's seriously blurring the lines between memory and reality.
And people are already dreaming up how these digital beings could fit into our lives. This, for example, is an idea from a student workshop, a holographic AI companion in your car based on a loved one, just to keep you company. It's both kind of sweet and, let's be honest, a little bit spooky.
And this just blows the lid off a whole Pandora's box of ethical nightmares we have no answers for. Who owns your digital self when you're gone? Can you delete it? Does a really complex digital clone deserve to have rights? What happens if it starts to change and evolve? We are completely off the map here. So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. Every single day, with every post, every email, every photo, you're building a massive digital file of yourself. And as AI gets more and more powerful, we all have to ask ourselves, are we just building a legacy for people to remember us by? Or are we accidentally building our own replacements?